WLB Baltimore, a Radio 1 station where information is power.
The following is a paid program. The views and opinions expressed are those of the program sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 1010 WOLB and its management.
Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee, the radio show where we talk about it all. Hey, welcome to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. With me are my co-hosts, Kevin Eaton.
Good morning, everyone.
Angelo Superstar, Barbara Richardson.
Good morning.
We have Phil in the house with us.
Good morning.
Yeah, he's been MIA for a minute. It's so great to have you back, Phil.
It's good to be back.
We have Jim on the line. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. You know how, well, first and foremost, before we start anything else, what did you think of the Super Bowl yesterday?
I was very disappointed because I was a strong Seattle Seahawks supporter. And, a bad play calling by the offense coordinator just let me down.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. I still don't understand that play call. I mean, because things could be the complete opposite now. The Seahawks could be victorious. So I don't understand that, especially that close, at the 1 yard line. Why would you even throw it anyway?
Yeah, it's funny because you say everybody in the stadium, everybody watching the game figured, okay, I know it's going to be a running play. Come on, guys, give the ball to your man. But I guess he was trying to go with the element of surprise, but any other team in the league who has a decent running game, you say, okay, maybe. But you got one of the best 3-yard runners in the league, and you don't use your strength. I mean, it just really hurt.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But nonetheless, congratulations, New England Patriots. You win another Super Bowl. Yay. Next year it'll be our turn. Watch.
Right.
Ravens, we're going all the way next time, y'all. Y'all see. You'll see.
They did good this year.
They did really well.
They did really good.
Yeah.
Suckers. They didn't go out like,
No. Right. At least postseason looked really good.
We was robbed.
Oh, we were robbed. You think we were robbed?
Yeah,
You're going to see another Super Bowl contest.
That's right.
All right. Before we go on any further, oh my goodness, our hearts go out to the family of Bobby Christina. She is actually in a Georgia hospital. She was found face down by her husband in the tub of an apparent drug overdose. And she has been in a medically induced coma since Saturday, I believe.
Yeah.
So our thoughts and prayers go out to Bobby Christina's family.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get this show on the road. Kevin.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Beautiful. Had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
My life is going through like a little transition here. I'm transitioning from been playing in one church for a while, so I'm starting to play in another church next week. So my transition weekend where I'm leaving one church and starting another one. So it was a good weekend.
Awesome.
And I got a chance to do my play rehearsal with the play and everything,
All
with
right
the cast
now.
and everything. And that's pretty cool because we're in a big old auditorium and everything. So I'm
Big
really excited
auditorium.
about that.
That's
So
good.
I had a good weekend.
That's good. Good. Angelo.
I settled back in after being in Cali the previous weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So, I settled in, worked. That's all I did.
That's all you do.
I had a good time.
But you had a lot to make up for, too. I mean,
Yes.
whenever you go away, you always have to come back to a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah. But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing to have work to come back to.
Sure enough.
Philip.
I did the same thing. I just worked all weekend.
Work.
Yeah, I worked all weekend long, and them kids down at Ultrasound got on my nerves. But
they got on your nerves.
Yes, they did. But that's all I did all weekend.
Okay. Good to work. Jimmy.
I had a very interesting weekend. A couple of my coworkers, about 6 guys, on the last Saturday of the month, we always go out to a restaurant and sit down, and eat and, just have some guy talk. So we went out Saturday morning, and everything was going well until just before we ready to leave. And out of nowhere, they just start arguing with each other. And I swear, I was on the episode of Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, no.
And you got your Real Housewives of Shop Talk shirt on.
Wait a minute. They started arguing just out of the blue?
Well, the guy was talking about one of our supervisors. And the other guy got mad and defended the supervisor, and it went from there, and they got to arguing. So we got up, started walking up the door. They arguing out the door. And I swear, it was just like the episode of Housewives of Atlanta.
That's embarrassing. So, Jimmy, did you diffuse the situation?
I tried to. I was like, I just walked away from him.
I think that's what I would have done, too.
Right.
So that was happy hour?
And that was right. We was at Golden Corral. They hadn't even been drinking.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because you can't. There's no alcohol at Golden Corral. People usually happy walking in and walking out of Golden Corral. Well, I'm sorry about that happened, Jimmy.
You would think. And then I went from there to go to Walmart because I wanted to buy myself a deep fryer so I could make me some chicken wings. That was mission impossible. One thing I never took in consideration that everybody is buying fryers for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I went to 4 different Walmarts and 2 Targets just to find a fryer.
Oh, my gosh. But you were successful.
Yeah, finally, early Sunday morning. I was successful.
Well, that's the important thing. You were victorious, Jimmy.
See, Jimmy should have bought himself a pressure cooker. I used my pressure cooker.
Oh.
Put frozen wings in there and sauce. 10 minutes later, they were cooked thoroughly.
You know, I've always been afraid.
Get you a pressure cooker.
I've always been afraid of pressure cookers.
I was too, because when I went to turn the little thing and that steam popped out, I threw my hand back. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
You ran. I know you ran.
I was like, oh, no. Then it was done in 10 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, right. I just can't. I just think about those old pressure cookers, and I think a lid or something blew off when I was a child, and I've been scarred ever since, so I stay away from pressure cookers.
Tell Jimmy to get the pressure cooker.
Okay, y'all, let's go a little bit further. We're going to start off the way we always start off by talking about or going into what we talked about last week. And the question that was posed last week, should law enforcement be allowed to obtain DNA from a citizen who has not been charged in a crime? And this topic actually came about this article that I saw in the Daily Record, where the Supreme Court is going to be looking at this particular case, where this gentleman was charged with a rape, and the DNA obtained by the police, I think it was the Maryland State Police troopers, they obtained the DNA from his seat. You know, apparently he was sitting and they were questioning him. They only brought him in for questioning. They did not bring him in, to be charged. But while questioning him, I guess he got a little hot, the heat was up, and he left a little sweat behind. So the trooper actually pulled out a swabbed it, the DNA, and found that it was a match for the DNA that was found on the scene of the apparent rape. So, you think they should be allowed to do that without permission? 410-481-1010 or 1-877-704-1010 are our numbers. Jimmy.
I still think the DNA test is nothing more than a modern version of the fingerprint test. So I think in any situation in which you can gain your fingerprint, you can do the same thing with DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can sit there and leave a fingerprint behind and go, and that can be tested and say, we got your fingerprints. I feel as though you should be able to do the same thing with DNA.
Okay. But the fingerprints are usually found at the scene of the crime, right? Is that usually when they lift them? It isn't like they bring you in for questioning and then... Go ahead, Jimmy.
If you're being interrogated, you leave your fingerprints, you touch the table or something like that, and they don't already have your fingerprints, and they decide to lift them, I can't see that being any different.
Okay. Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They could do that. You could leave your fingerprint at the scene of the crime, and then you come in for questioning or something like that, and they give you a cup of coffee or something to drink, and you drink it. I mean, you're leaving your fingerprint there, and then they could get the match like that.
Yeah.
But I agree with Jimmy when it comes down to as far as when you leave some DNA or something like that. It's like leaving a fingerprint. Right. Now I disagree with them actually taking it from you personally, like actually, having you and taking it like a swab from you or taking blood samples, something like
the
that.
swab inside of your mouth.
Yeah, but if you happen to be somewhere and just happen to leave DNA and they got the technology to pick that up, I think that's just great science and police working together.
Okay. Angelo.
I don't think they should do that.
Okay. Why?
I think that if you're going to do it, make them aware of it beforehand. I could use your DNA or something once you leave this building. But then it would still be an investigatory what's the word I'm looking for? Process.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? And I saw a video where a lady was taking her 2 clients into the courtroom, and investigator was taking pictures of them. And all she said was, don't take pictures of my clients. I'm about to, I'm their lawyer. They arrested her for obstructing. And then he still took pictures of their 2 clients. They were about to go in the courtroom, and they took her downstairs to jail.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
So, I mean, in your investigation, but as long as you make them aware of it.
Yeah, make them aware of it beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. Philip.
I kind of don't understand the situation. I want to make sure I got it clear.
Okay.
Did they take it from the seat once they brought him in from questioning?
Mm-hmm.
They
After
took
he
it
left.
after he left out? Well, at that point, I mean, yeah, I think they should be allowed to do that. I mean, you're in the precinct at that point. You're there. You're in their space. You already know that it's a possibility that you're going to possibly leave some type of fingerprint, some type of DNA or something there. So that, I agree. I think that should be allowed.
Even though at that time he was just an ordinary, everyday citizen. He hadn't been charged with that particular crime at that time.
Because I feel like that them getting that helped them pinpoint who that person was. It allowed them to, and it wasn't like he said, them coming up to them and actually just taking it from him without him knowing it. He left that behind, and they just swabbed it. They didn't do anything that was really wrong there.
So we got to go there with gloves, long sleeves.
Oh my gosh! And then
we
what?
Wrap up to go to the police station.
How do you bring a little fuzzy seat thing to put down in the chair so you don't leave any DNA in the chair?
Plus, also, we had some callers that made some good points last week when they were talking about that system has to be a total trust system because you can plant DNA.
That's true.
So you really can't, say, okay, he left his DNA there and take it 100% because maybe somebody could have switched something in the labs or anything. I mean, stuff happens. So it has to be a type of a system where we know it's 100% foolproof because you're talking about people going to jail, doing time, 15, 20, 25 years.
And especially in a situation like that where it was outside of the normal process. Then you could question how that DNA was actually obtained, and the chain of custody. I would question that too.
Because we leave DNA all in this studio from all the people that come in here. Now, what if something happens here? They're going to take all our DNAs and put like all our DNAs from every show that comes in this little room.
Right. So we all be guilty?
Right. We all going to be guilty.
I ain't got time to go to jail.
The thing you have to take in consideration is that you get an attorney, and then you can always have your DNA retested.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's something that I think they should do. Like if they, by them swabbing and having it, because that possibility that it could be altered, change, then at that point, that's when your lawyer should say, okay, now you need to supply the DNA that way to make sure that it is a match before we can even go forward, or vice versa. They should ask that before they even to go forward with charging him. You know what I mean?
But who pays for that? Who pays for that second testing?
They probably have to pay it themselves.
Yeah, it would be up to the defendant to pay that.
Yeah, absolutely. Most people don't have it like that.
Yeah, most people don't.
Attorney costs money as it is.
Exactly. You have that retainer, then you have the hourly fees, and oh my gosh. 410-481-1010 or 1-877-704-1010.
Let's say you didn't do it. So you're most apt to give up your DNA or whatever sample it is to clear you, to straight clear you, because you are not the one.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in his case, he was a person, his DNA matched or whatever. So here's the person that, technically matched up,
Well, so they say.
Right.
Because because at the end of the day, they can make you the one if they want to.
That was my next point.
Absolutely.
That was my next point.
They can make you the one if they want. Right. You don't even got to be.
And they can make you. They can make you the person.
Yeah, they can make them. That's true. Yeah.
Let's bring Maggie in. Hi, Maggie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Peace and blessings, and good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
I was just reading an article about a man who was wrongfully convicted, and he spent 23 years in prison, wrongfully convicted. His name is Derek Hamilton. He's now, I think, 48 years old, the father of 3 children who had to do without their father all that time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And the thing that I think about is the system, the legal system, is so confused by corruption that it's like everybody needs to be treated with tender loving care just in case they are innocent. I don't care what kind of evidence they say they have. When you read stories about how evidence is planted, and like one of you said, you can place part of the DNA one place and keep it another place, you know? So you never know. And the thing that really touches me is I always think if I was innocently accused of something, you know, and there was no way I could convince anybody that I was innocent, and then to spend like Hurricane Carter, remember? Hurricane Carter was innocent. He went to prison as a young person. No, first I think he was put in reform school because a pedophile tried to hurt one of his playmates. And he stood up and told him, leave them alone, you know. Anyway, he was like a champion who went to prison all those years. So I think that we don't spend enough time together discussing what the legal system, because I will not call it the criminal justice system. There's no justice in there. They haven't met the measure of fairness yet. So how can there be a system of justice, you know?
Right.
I'm just so insulted by how they use us who are foolish enough by lack of knowledge to be manipulated. So I say no, they shouldn't have the right to do that. And I do believe that there is an energy that will reveal people who have done wrong if you practice enough goodwill energy in your society. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That there is an invisible energy that will expose persons who have done ill will. But we don't believe in that for the most part because somebody has made us think we only have law. Without law, we have nothing. See, that's the legal system of corruption and deception. So I'll go with this if you don't mind. When we practice goodwill, we will see what we want to see, called a society humane for all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maggie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We will be closing this particular topic in a couple of minutes. So if you'd like to participate in this, please give us a call, 410-481-1010 or 1-877-704-1010. Hi, Janet. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Maggie said just about everything that I could have possibly said. And the main reason that I feel that it should not be done is because I have seen and heard for myself, not that I was a part of anything, but I just happened to be in a position where I heard officers of the law bragging about how they had manipulated the evidence. So now you want me to turn around and trust these people? I wouldn't trust them to pass a prayer to the next person. It's not about that. Somehow their ego gets involved and their count gets involved, or I don't know what gets involved, that they stop thinking about the person that they're putting harm to as opposed to them finding the right answer. You want the right answer, look for it. But don't cheat your way to it. And no, I would not, because you don't know how many other people they thought that had sat in that chair.
You know, that's true. How many other people sat in that chair prior to this particular gentleman?
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you,
Janet.
I love this show.
Wow, that's awesome. Jimmy?
Yeah. I still say that's when it comes right down to your defense attorney. If you know you ain't do something, I mean, you should be willing to pay the money to have your DNA retested. That's what it all comes down to.
You should be able to pay to have your DNA retested.
Yeah, and then if they falsely arrest you, then you turn around and get your money back from the police department or whoever arrested you.
Good luck with that. Come on, Jimmy. Jimmy, come on. You know better than that.
It ain't where you gonna get it from.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so you know what? We're going to go on to our next topic. And this topic was actually given by Jimmy. Jimmy suggested this particular topic, which I think is quite interesting, you know, especially for us sitting here in this booth. And the question that he posed was, and before we go there, I can see that I think there's another call coming through. Is there another call coming through? Okay. All right. So we're going to bring her in before we close this particular topic and move on to the next, okay? We have Diane. Hi, Diane. Welcome to the show.
Fine. Thank you. There's a scripture in response to that last comment. Truth crushed to the earth will rise again. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Diane. Boy, we getting scripture and everything, y'all. I'm in church, y'all. I'm in church. Okay, so we have Hampton. Hi, Hampton. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I did call in last week about it. Now I'm putting the other half on this week. When they take somebody down there, that's entrapment. They know already they plan to do this to that person. That is entrapment. Number two is they entrap you again. They stop you and give you a ticket, and they'll say to you, you have to sign this ticket. And you say, I'm not going to sign it. Well, if you don't sign it, you're going to jail. And you can go to jail for that. That's entrapment, too. So a lot of time, police pull tricks on people with the law, this, the law, that. We don't know the law. And if we don't do what they say, we locked up. No good. Have a nice day.
You too. You know, it kind of reminds me of what they say, like if a police officer stops you, you're like, why'd you stop me? They say, oh, because your headlight is broke. Then they break your headlight, you know. So, hey.
But like you said, we need to know the law. We talked about that last week, too. It'd be good. We have a course in school where we know, where we learn, you know, the Constitution. We learn our rights, where everybody in America, all humans would know what our rights are.
I think that's an excellent idea. I think that's something they should, that's something they should certainly add to the high school curriculum. I mean, because we learn about the Constitution, we learn about that, but what about Maryland state law as it pertains to us, okay? So now we're going to move on. We're going to move on. Okay. Would you want to trade your life, as you know it, for fame and fortune? And you know, I'm going to save Kevin and Phil for last because you two, y'all superstars. But I'm going to start with superstar Barbara. He's already a superstar. Angelo.
I'm kind of on the fence with it because being around that realm of society, some of the people are humbled to the point that if you ask them to take pictures or something, they'll ask you, well, aren't you going to get in the picture with me? Or some of them don't even want to be bothered. You know what I mean? You're scrutinized from what you eat, where you hang out, the people you hang out with. Now, I just don't think I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? I would love it. I would love the perks that come with it. But all that negative stuff, I don't think I could deal with that.
So you wouldn't want to be your life to be under a microscope. You know, because you think about it, everywhere you go, paparazzi's everywhere. You have children, they're following your children to and from school, and people are threatening your life. They don't even know you, and they're threatening your life.
I can't smile that much, you know, when you're taking all them pictures.
You know what? That's true. But see, you're cute, though. You're cute, Angelo. You don't have to smile.
They're going to catch me like, get away from it. I'm going to be Kanye West. I'm going to be fighting all the photographers.
But he never smiles either. Jimmy.
I definitely would not want that level of fame and all the stuff that comes with it. Because my biggest concern is the effect that it will actually have on my family. Because for the most part, they didn't ask for it. And you see it so often happens with some of the stars in Hollywood children, where you see some paparazzi taking pictures of them. They somewhere drinking, they doing underage drinking and stuff like that. I just wouldn't want my family to be exposed like that. Even myself, because I mean, like Angelo was just saying, you know, you see stars out, people taking pictures of them eating, so they're supposed to be on the diet, but look what they got on their plate. I wouldn't want that because it truly tears family apart.
Yeah, they definitely can do that. You know, they create stories. I mean, that's how they make their money. They create stories. You know, so that's, it's, you know, I don't know how I feel about that. My feelings are torn.
Yeah, that's why I said I was on the fence.
Yeah,
but I think that's why the divorce rate in Hollywood is so high too.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, how can you avoid it? Your life is right there. Every mistake that you make is just right there, and it's blown up. And me myself, I mean, can you imagine though? You know, you're just going about your business, and you pick up the newspaper, or you just happen to go to a drugstore, and you see National Enquirer, and you see your face on there. You know, and the story that isn't even true about you.
Right.
I just can't even imagine living that way. Jimmy, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I think to me, one of the biggest advantages of having that fame and notoriety, if I do get in trouble, there's a high probability I'll be able to get out of trouble.
Yeah, or use this as an example, because they beginning to do that now.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, so now our two rising superstars. I'm gonna go to them. I'm gonna start off with Kevin.
Start with the age and the experience first. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I like the since we've been going to the Bible today, I'm gonna go to the Bible today myself.
Hallelujah.
It has in there there's a verse in there that says something about what would it profit a man, you know, to gain the whole world and lose your only soul. I love my soul.
Okay.
I love it. I love it a lot, and I love it more than just sell it to you know, be fame and fortune and stuff like that. Because when you get over to that world, it's a spiritual world. It's more spiritual than it is finances. The finances come with it, but it's a lot of spirituality that comes with it too.
Okay.
And one of our callers was talking about the karma that comes with it, and you were talking about the kids. I think that's what's happening with Whitney Houston's daughter right now. I mean, these
Bobby Christina.
Yeah, I mean, the girl hasn't made it to 22.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of bad karma spirituality that goes with this fame and fortune. It looks good on television. It looks good when you're getting awards and stuff like that. But I just think that these people live some lonely spiritual lives. Spiritually, they're like just disconnected from themselves.
Yeah, you said a lot though, and I think you're right. Excuse me. I think a lot of times they are very lonely because they don't know who to trust. Who do you trust?
Right.
You know, the people that are in your circle, how do you know they're there for your good? They may be there just because of the perks that come with you.
Exactly.
And they could be the people feeding the paparazzi information.
Exactly.
So can you imagine that? You know, and the parties and the pressure and the, you know, all of that. Is it worth it? All right, I'm going to go to you, Phil.
I would say I would absolutely not change my life. I feel like, see, I'm not chasing the fame, the fortune, the internet and all that. I'm chasing the dream that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about that. And if you, that's for anybody out there, if that's what you're chasing, to be fame, fortune, social media, seen and noticed, you're chasing the wrong thing, and you're never going to get there because you're doing it all wrong.
Okay.
You know, I feel like it's too much behind that. It comes with it eventually over time. But again, like y'all said, very lonely. You got to think about your family, what your family's going through, what they got to deal with. I just think, no, who wants? I don't want fame. I mean, it looks glamorous on TV, and it looks like, oh, everybody loved them and this, that, and third. But you also got to think about your safety too.
Right.
Your personal safety.
It goes deep, and then to the point where you get so lonely. Sometimes they probably losing their minds.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why a lot of them, you look at them, they're addicted to drugs. Why?
Want to commit suicide, just to stay sane.
Spiritual.
Yeah, because people say, oh, they are addicted to drugs or they use drugs because they're easily accessible. They're easily accessible to us, you know, but we aren't addicted to drugs. Jimmy, how long do we have with you?
About 3 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. Any closing thoughts since this was your topic?
Yeah, one thing you also have to take in consideration is that how long does this fame last? I mean, sure, you have all this attention, and you're losing friends, you're gaining friends, and then we're going through, like, our past topic, which was the crab in the barrel mentality. You got so many people tearing you down. Then at some point, it all comes to an end.
Yes.
And that's when it becomes very lonely, because at one point in time, you're like, you had all this attention on you.
Yeah, so what do you do when it comes to an end?
And then you say to yourself, now what?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Jimmy.
Now, don't get me wrong now.
All right, you have a great day.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to be rich and famous,
Bye.
but
why are you talking all over us? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, because we're saying that we don't want to be famous and this is the. I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, we would love to be, you know, in that situation, and everything.
Yes,
we really would. You know, but it's a lot that goes with it that we don't want to sacrifice. We're human. You know what I'm saying? We have feelings, and you know that's how we live.
It's definitely a trade-off.
And it's a difference of being having fortune and being rich and just being comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or chasing a dream to just be comfortable, you and your family. Now, being rich and famous and all that I feel like that is too much. It's too much. You don't get your own privacy. Everywhere you go, you got to have somebody watching over your back.
Yeah.
It's just way too much.
It's a lot.
It's way too much behind that.
If I could live in seclusion, I'd do it.
Oh, really? You live in seclusion?
Because I'm already scrutinized from being in the industry I'm in for over 20 some odd years.
Yes.
You know, I've seen some of the things, friends, you know, jealousies, all that stuff. So
Yes.
I'm prepared for it. But I'd have to live in total obscurity before I would do something like that.
Yeah.
I would go to work and then I'd come back through a tunnel to my house, back in the woods.
He done built a tunnel. But you know
and
what?
nobody knows where it is.
I feel that some people are just born to be certain things.
Right.
They're just born to be that way.
Right.
And I feel that they should be free to be who they are. And if fame and fortune comes with it, oh, so be it. But
Right.
people should be free to be who they are.
Exactly.
Okay? Wow.
And as long as they can deal with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because you definitely have to be a strong person to deal with whatever backlash that comes from it. But you know what? There's good and bad in everything.
It is.
I mean, and the career that you've chosen and what you're doing, there's good and bad in everything. In the modeling field, there's good and bad in it all. But you have to make the choices what you're willing to sacrifice. But don't eliminate the thought of achieving your dream out of fear of what other people are going to say and do, because you know what, people are going to talk about you regardless. They're going to write about you regardless. So you got to live your life, okay?
Like you was asking, would we ever trade it for our lives now?
As we know it now.
Right now, I wouldn't trade my life right now for.
Jack.
I wouldn't. I'm loving what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving the people that I'm around. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving being the dad that I am.
Yes.
And it would be different. It would be totally different tomorrow if I was to sign $1 trillion contract. It would change.
But the thing of it is, Kevin, you are living your dream now.
Right.
Think about
Yeah,
it.
I am.
I mean, your art. You're still doing your art. You know what I mean? What you love to do. You love music. That's still a part of your life.
Big part.
You deal with children. You work with children. That's still a part of your life. You know, so you found a way to create balance wherein your life is perfect the way that it is now, because everything that makes Kevin who he is still a part of Kevin.
Right.
Yeah. And it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of also about really how much of it you allow to go to your head. That's the problem with a lot of the people who are famous or internet famous, even not even TV famous, but internet famous.
Yes.
That's the problem. They allow it to go to their head, or other people have boofed their head up so big that now they walk around thinking that they're different, they're better than everybody else. Oh, I got more followers than you, I got more likes than you, or people know me here and know me there. And it's a difference. If it was to happen, like you said, sign $1 trillion contract tomorrow, my lifestyle would not change. I would not try to change my lifestyle.
Yeah, you would have to try to work it around where you can still be filled tomorrow.
That's right.
And try to fulfill that contract too.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But then you mentioned internet, and you mentioned, and it brings my mind to bloggers and people like that. Those people are behind screens.
Exactly.
Okay, they're unlike us. We're on the front line.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
aren't. They're behind a computer screen.
You can't tell them that.
They can be whoever or whatever they want. They can duck in and duck out. They don't have to go through tunnels.
Yeah.
You know, they're already hidden. So, I mean, are they true celebrities?
In
Really?
their eyes, they think they are.
Yeah, but you know, I think a part of being a celebrity is you have to be out there in the forefront to your followers, your people. It's more than sending tweets.
Right.
There's more to it than that. Oh my goodness, we have Kenny. Hi, Kenny. Welcome to the show.
How you doing? Listen, while y'all was talking, I was thinking about one of the athletes that played this weekend was Mr. Lynch.
Marshawn, yes.
And this guy doesn't want to be in front of the media. He doesn't want to be in front of the media, but the NFL is forcing him to get in front of the media, and I think it's wrong that, you know, that's part of the NFL, that you have to talk to them, because the same media that you talk to will bring you down when something goes wrong. And I think he knows that, and I don't know if they want to screw, you know, the way he talks, or he still have a little slang to his, you know, his talking and stuff. I don't even know if that's why they trying to do it. But if you know, If you don't want to face the media and you just want to play football, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, because he's been fined. And with the last interview that they gave him, I mean, it was going to be a ridiculous fine. So he allowed them to interview him, but his answers were, I don't want to be sued. So, that's the only reason why I'm here. Right. Every question they asked, he spent because he had to devote, I think, 4.5 minutes to an interview. Mm-hmm. And the whole time he said, I don't want to be sued.
I'm here not to be fined.
Yeah, because I don't want to be fined. But
right.
The thing of it is, though, that's what you sign up for.
Yeah.
Well,
professional, excuse me, Captain.
Go.
Professional football player. Okay, I mean, a lot of kids they've lived their lives wanting to be that. They're starting, with the little league things or whatever. Then they middle school, high school, they go to college. It's like, I want to be a professional football player. But with that celebrity comes a price. And we feel we own you. And the least you can do is talk to us. Right. And whether you like it or not, that's just the way it is. That's the price of celebrity. And then I think about the coach who lost yesterday. I'm quite sure he did not want to be interviewed because it was his call. That play was his call. He made a mistake. It wasn't a very good call. So for him to have to face the media right after a loss like that, he had to do it. That's the price that you have to pay for being on the front line. Okay, Captain.
That's what I was going to agree with you about.
Yeah.
When you get to that certain point, like Phil was talking about, in order for us to get to that point, we're going to have to sign somebody's contract. Right. Nobody just going to come and deposit that $1 million into our account. Believe me, we're going to have to sign some paper somewhere.
Absolutely.
And that's where it comes in at. That contract says that you have to do interviews. You have to do this in order for you to collect the money and participate in the activity that we allow you to participate in.
Right.
So it's already in the contract what we're going to have you do.
Absolutely.
And you're going to do it.
Absolutely. You sign that contract. You are legally bound by that contract. That's one of the reasons why they're paying you those millions.
Right.
I mean, it isn't just what you do on the field. It's what you do off the field as well.
Right.
It's their brand. You are representing their brand.
Right.
So almost physically, you cannot return to your own life, pretty much.
Right.
You're owned.
It's a done deal, right?
You're owned.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I like being able to make my own decisions right now. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I like being able to make my own decisions as well. I don't think I want to be owned by anyone. But again, that's the trade-off. Because it's like, okay, you know what? We'll give you this leap. You need a leap. You need a little help. But you're going to have to sign on this dotted line.
Yeah.
Sign your life away.
410-481-1010 or 1-877-704-1010. Most of us are losing our voices in this booth. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's the change in coming back from 80 degree weather.
I can't even say that. I didn't go to California.
It's just it's going around. Like I was just saying, God, we are all coughing from one mic to the other.
Yeah, losing our voices and stuff.
Right.
But you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity because I am so excited because we have not seen this young man in weeks. So right now, we're going to go into Phil's Corner.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cassandra. And
You're
once
welcome.
again, good morning, Baltimore. And we're going to take a moment to step into Phil's Corner. First off, coming from myself, I would like to say, unfortunately, congratulations to the New England Patriots for winning the Super Bowl. Even though our Ravens were cheated on our opportunity.
Yes.
They were cheated.
Yes.
But you know what? It's okay. Nonetheless, they did win. So congratulations to them. A little bit about the performances. Did you know that John Legend performed the America the Beautiful? Now, I'm a big fan of John Legend, and I think his voice is very unique and very different. I think he did a wonderful job, and he did the song justice as well. Miss Idina Menzel sang the national anthem this year, and in the halftime, we had Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, and Missy Elliott.
She tore it up.
Didn't she? I'm about to say she took it back. She took it back for us with "Get Your Freak On."
Oh, man.
That was a hit. That was a hit back in the day.
Yes.
But on social media, they're getting mixed signals about the Katy Perry performance, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're tearing
really?
her up on
Yeah,
social media.
they are.
What are they saying? I loved it.
They just didn't understand, the concept. She had the big animal, big lion, or whatever it was.
When she came in on the lion.
And then the cartoon characters, the little cartoon, they was a little weird off by that too. And then they was asking, where did Missy come into the performance? Where did she tie into it? You know what I mean? Like they didn't make sense, even though we love her to death, but it didn't make sense.
Right.
So, that's neither here nor there. It was a good game.
Yes.
And it was good performances.
Yeah, that's all we care about.
And I wanted to talk about the Bobby Christina situation you were saying.
Yes.
I heard that there was actually no drugs or alcohol found in there, though.
Okay.
Which is something that I thought was going to be one of the issues too, as to why she was found unconscious in the water, but
face down.
Yeah, face down. But unfortunately, they said it was not found. And her father released a statement asking, please allow for my family to deal with this matter and give my daughter the love and support she needs. So again, we really, and she's, they put her in a induced coma.
Yes.
And also she's having some brain issues, functioning issues with her brain as well. So we do want, we do want to pray for her and her family and hope that she get better well. Well soon.
There was an attempt right after Whitney was found with Bobby Christina. So this is the second incident with Bobby Christina.
And 3 years after, her mother found in the bathtub, drowned.
Almost to the day, because it was February 11th or 15th or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to talk about Kevin Hart.
Okay.
It's a big war going on Instagram right now between Kevin Hart attacking Marlon Wayans, Drake, Meek Mills, and Lil Duval after they took to social media to down Kevin Hart for the outfit of choice, which was a form-fitted sleeveless leather shirt, form-fitted black jeans, and black high-top shoes. Some of the comments, he did look crazy.
That sounds crazy.
But some of the comments, Lil Duval stated to him on Instagram, "Man, Kevin, if you don't get the F out of here with that body waist trainer on." Drake comment, "Kevin, no, please don't do this tonight." And he hashtagged some hashtags underneath it, but one of the main ones that really stood out to me was when he said, "Please, I hope there's some other options. Don't do it," which was really good. Meek Mill said, "Let's start a petition to get Kev to take that shirt off. Come on, man, you from Philly." So they are really going at him really, really, really hard. But Kevin didn't take it very good, and he went on his Instagram page and he posted a video saying that these guys had just committed social media suicide. So he posted pictures of each of them, a lot of pictures of each of them on his his Instagram page, and he went at them hard. One of them that was really, really funny is when he told Marlon Wayans, in the picture, his head looked like one of the deflated footballs that Tom Brady had used for the game. So it was very funny. So to check that out and see more information, go onto your Instagram page and go to that Instagram page and see exactly all the comments going back and forth with each other about that, because it's hilarious. People.
Oh, don't dish it if you can't take it.
There's a lot of madness going on behind the scenes of Rihanna's 8th album, but she continues to maintain her composure in front of her fans and the world. She headlined DirecTV's Super Saturday Night concert in Arizona before the Super Bowl kickoff. Blazing the stage with her, she had the superstar Kanye West just to ignite the concert even better. So it turned out really, really good. So job well done, Rihanna, and we wish you luck with your 8th album titled 4 5 Seconds. Weird title, but
hey,
it's catchy. Mariah Carey performed at the Jazz and Blues Festival in Jamaica this year. Her fans love her to death and have been following her for a very, very long time, but people are starting to get a little disgusted with her. Report states that she isn't hitting the notes like she used to and isn't even sounding like herself. But what might have been the last straw, and I said might have been the last straw, her backup track malfunctioned while she was performing at the Jazz and Blues Festival in Jamaica, and instead of her singing a cappella or going on to the next song like a real true performer would, she walked off the stage.
Dropped the mic.
Dropped the mic and walked off the stage. So we thought that she was better than that and one of the best performers there was, but she is starting to fall off. So hopefully she can get it back together and keep her fans going, This last one might be a little controversy. There's going to be some controversy behind this one.
Here we go.
But I was doing my research and it popped up. I said, okay, because we love the Braxton family here.
Absolutely.
Tamar Braxton, did you know that she's supposed to be judging on the 7th season of RuPaul's Drag Race this year?
I can see that.
RuPaul said that she's going to bring more realness to the show.
Okay.
So I don't watch it myself personally, but for the ones that's out there watching it, let us know how that turns out. because she's about drama, so it might work, might not work, not too sure. But once again, this is Phil bringing you Phil's Corner only on Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee.
Awesome, thank you, Phil, and welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
MIA.
Yeah, he's been MIA for a minute. Okay, we only have a few minutes left, but I'd like to bring up another topic, another one of Jimmy's topics. So we're definitely going to start off the show next week with this one. But I remember one of the commercials, Super Bowl commercials yesterday, and I don't know if any of you saw the ones with they asked people to hit like a girl, run like a girl, fight like a girl. And of course, it's always a little prissy, thing like that.
Yes.
And then they actually asked young girls, fight like a girl. These girls were like going at it, boxing, run like a girl. They were running fast.
Right.
So what they were saying is, during adolescence, girls, their self-esteem plummets during that time. Right. And a lot of times it's based on what we say to them. Why does fight like a girl has to be a prissy type thing? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, what type of messages are we sending to our young girls?
Right.
And that kind of rolls over into Jimmy's topic is, should we be teaching our daughters that they don't need a man? Should we be teaching them that? Good question. Yeah. I'm going to start with Kevin.
I don't think we should be teaching our girls that, because the way the world is balanced is between male and female. We balance each other out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to teach the female how to survive without a male, I think that's going right along with the plan of the eugenics plan, where we're just taking the man out of the family and making the female just the overall head of the household. Like, we don't need a man. So then, I don't think we should do that. I think we should keep things the way things are supposed to be, where you have a man and you're female together, and we should nurture our daughters and our girls, and so they can be good wives and good girlfriends, so that the guys can do what they got to do without getting upset and a whole bunch of domestic violence and stuff.
But the reality remains, girls far outnumber boys. So it isn't an even match. It isn't balanced. And like we had a show one time wherein most women meet their future husbands during college years, and if they don't become engaged or married during that period of time or shortly thereafter, a lot of them end up not getting married. Right. So should we be teaching them that they don't need a man, in the sense that some women get so desperate when they get a certain age? It's like, oh, my biological clock is ticking, and I'm such and such, I don't want to be an old maid, that sort of thing, where they make bad choices because they feel that they have to be married. Angelo.
Let's see. I think it should be the woman's choice whether she wants a man or not.
Okay.
But I do agree with Kevin that there should be the man, the woman, the children, that. But if she doesn't want a man, don't force her to have a man.
Right. But it isn't always easy to find.
And then, it's hard to find that person that completes you and fulfills your every need. And then when you find them, they might not have been the right one.
Yeah, especially when there's a small pool to begin with. It sounds wonderful. It's a great concept, but I don't think it's reality, Philip.
I agree with what Kevin said, but I also see the other side of it too. You don't want to feel like you're pushing someone to do something, and then what's going to end up happening is they are, like you said, going to make those wrong decisions, those wrong choices. They're going to run to the wrong people, to the streets, because eventually they're going to do what they want to do anyway. They're going to do what they want to do regardless. But I do see where you should, when you're raising them, keep that formality of the man, the woman, the kids. The man is the head of the household. But I think you also do want to teach the young ladies, not even just the young ladies, young men, both sides, that they should be able to handle things on their own, just in case that situation arises. They know how to take care of themselves if need be, until they find that right one.
You just stole the words right out of my mouth. So I'm sitting here dumbfounded. I agree with you 100% there.
I do too.
I feel that we shouldn't be teaching our daughters that they don't need a man. I think we all need each other. It's just that simple. But I think they should be prepared. We should be raising balanced kids where they don't feel inadequate if they're at a certain age and they aren't married or they don't have children.
Because independence, we all need independence. But at some point, we need companionship, too. So,
and that's a need, and we can't ignore that. So to teach your daughters that they don't need a man, I don't know. Now if he meant it in the sense that financially, you know, I feel we all should be financially independent because you just never know what may happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's bring Halim in. Hi, Halim. Welcome to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
All right. Yeah, you know, I saw the same commercial that you're talking about.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And when I saw it, you know, everybody was watching it together, my family and friends and whatnot. And I said, you know, they're saying this as if girls don't say derogatory things about boys. And if boys don't have self-esteem issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like this era is always having the emphasis on the girl self-esteem, as if the boy self-esteem doesn't matter.
Okay. You know, I don't think it was so much that they were saying that a boy's self-esteem doesn't matter. That was just the point of that particular commercial. Because if you remember, there were the commercials about the dads that were awesome. They were talking about the importance of dads. Did you see that commercial?
Yeah, but I saw that too, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
The point that I'm making is, you know, when we talk about the derogatory things that boys may say about girls, is if the girl is a victim and they don't say derogatory things about boys.
But they weren't saying that these statements were coming from boys. It's just people in general. Even parents say those type of things to girls.
Okay. I think you're missing my point.
No, I'm not missing your point. I'm just saying that the girls were the target of that particular commercial. Right. Just like the commercial about the dads were the target.
We don't have the same emphasis on derogatory things that I said about boys and men.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your call. Maybe there'll be a commercial next year. Right. But I thought the commercial was awesome. It was awesome. It spoke directly to young girls, and I'm sure there were young girls that were watching that definitely benefited from that commercial. And we, as parents, we need to watch what we're saying to our daughters because we think that it's harmless. It's like, oh, fight like a girl. Oh, that's cute. Run like a girl. That's cute. Yeah. You know what I mean? We need to teach them that they can be whatever they want to be.
Right, because that's the ongoing thing. If a boy hits you soft, they'll say, "Oh, you hit like a girl, or you fight like a girl."
Absolutely.
Or, you know, so it is a little derogatory.
Definitely.
Because I see girl fights all the time on social media, and they be really fighting.
They fight like men, you know, so that is very derogatory. But we aren't saying, like I said, we aren't dismissing the guys, you know, because derogatory statements are being said to boys and all that. We're not dismissing that at all. But the topic, what we're talking about right now, though, are the girls. We'll talk about boys next week, okay? So, who did I miss? Did I get everybody's opinion on that?
Yes.
Okay, so fight like a girl. Oh, Baba, welcome to the show.
Yes, I think that girls should have this type of respect reflected upon them. And you have a persistent call every time it's something about boys and girls should have it, especially if you claim that you are a father, even if you adopted some children. But there are one individual, when it comes up to girls, you can always hear them crying the blues. Girls shouldn't have, boys should be doing something that, and claim themselves to be Muslim. They don't feel like that in the Muslim world. Take care.
All right. Thank you so much. Boy. Well, I have two girls, and I've always tried to teach them to be strong. You know, forget all that other stuff. Be strong. Be able to hold your own, handle your own. Get as much education as you can possibly get. Ignore the negative chatter. You know what you're capable of. Push yourself. You can be whoever you want to be. And my oldest daughter always said to me, Mommy, I want to be just like you when I grow up. I said, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. You know, just use me as a gauge and say, okay, you know, this is where I am. This is where my mom is. This is where I want to be. And it's so funny because it took me a minute to earn my AA degree because I only took one class at a time, class, two classes. And I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I have my AA degree sitting up in the living room. And when my daughter earned her bachelor's degree, it's twice the size of my AA degree, and she has it sitting next to my AA degree, and it looked kind of funny. But I am just so happy. I'm just so proud because it speaks to me that she was actually listening to my teachings, and she was sharing it to a lot of her friends. You know, so that's all I ever try to do with my daughter. I didn't tell them what they didn't need. I try to be a guide to them. I try to teach them to be who you are, proud of who you are. And one of the main things that I teach them is you don't owe anybody any explanations.
Right.
If it doesn't feel right to you, it ain't right. And it doesn't matter if everybody around you have a problem with it. Well, why it don't feel right? Give me explanations. What are you talking about? It doesn't have to make sense to everybody else. Live your life. Be happy for you. If it doesn't feel right, you don't feel comfortable, get out of it.
That's right.
What about you, Kev? Because you have 2 daughters.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters, and I have a daughter. She's, I think she's 30 now. And you're talking about, well, I wasn't in her life with her growing up.
Yes.
And she's one of those women who do without men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, I wasn't in her life, but if I was there, I know that she probably maybe she would have turned out differently because I would have been there in her life trying to instill in her the importance of a relationship, of man and female relationships.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think if I was there, I would have made maybe some sort of difference where she would accept men now as where
Kevin,
I don't know.
Baby, I got to interrupt you.
Come on.
No. I honestly feel, and I met your daughter.
Right.
Can I say?
Go for it.
I honestly feel some people are born that way. And I know a lot of people have problems with this. And they say people are just freaks and they choose to be gay.
Okay.
I feel some people, something goes wrong. Some people are born that way, whether you were in her life or not.
Okay.
She is who she is. She's always been who she is.
Right.
Whether you were there or not, she would still prefer what she prefers. But the most important thing is she's happy, baby.
And I love her
That's
too.
the most important thing is that she's happy. It doesn't matter who she chooses to be her mate.
Okay.
Right.
I'm proud of her that she's bold enough to stand up and be firm and proud. I am who I am instead of hiding in the shadows. You smiling at me. I know I'm preaching. Let's bring Mark in. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, first time caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice show. I just know as a father who raised this little girl, she's 24 years old now, so proud of her. I've always taught, and I actually learned this from my older sister, I always taught my daughter independence, strength and independence.
Yes.
But my sister, she would always say, the one thing that she would stress to her late husband was, I need you, not financially, but for companionship. And that's what I teach my daughter, that you need to be independent. You need to be able to take care of yourself, and that you need to be, because when you first move out into the world, which she just left the nest a month ago, you need to be able to do things for yourself until you have that man that can help you a little bit more.
Yes.
But you need to also know that you can do these things on your own. So I don't teach you don't need a man. I teach that you need to be independent, but you also need companionship.
Absolutely.
You all have a great day.
You too.
And he hit the nail on the head.
Perfect.
You know, yeah.
Absolutely.
Independence, but you still need a companionship, you know?
Absolutely. You know, that girl needs to know how to change that tire, which I still don't know how to do. She needs to know how to, change that oil. She needs to know how to run that lawnmower. She needs to know how to do those things to survive, so she doesn't feel like she needs another individual for those things.
Right. A lot of girls can do those things.
Absolutely.
And a lot of boys cannot.
Right.
So there are things.
Point.
There's a lot of things that a few females can do that I choose not to do. I choose to pay somebody to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's your choice. But you don't feel that you have to have a mate to do those things for you.
Yeah, plus a lot of people of the opposite sex don't look for that. They don't see the companion. They see a dollar sign. They see a walking dollar sign. Or they see somebody that can really toss them up. But they don't see a companion, somebody that's just good to talk to, just somebody just to be there with you.
They just see that they got all this money, or then they can go to the store and just buy
they all
everything.
Up on them,
But and historically, women have been blamed for this. It's like women are gold diggers. They're looking for men to take care of them. But I feel as time has gone on,
there's some sugar mamas out there,
more and more men. They are approaching women because they see these women are successful.
Right.
And they see that these women have what they want.
Right.
So they are starting relationships with them, not because they're attracted to these women, not because they want these women. And some of them, because come on now, as people get older, they become more financially stable. So you have these younger men Oh God, how do we end up here, y'all? But you find these younger men, starting relationships with these older women because these women are more financially secure and they want that. But then they have their little young things on the side. Oh boy,
ain't nothing wrong with a sugar mama now.
Oh, you got a sugar mama?
Take care of you.
Angelo, you sound like you're speaking from experience. But you're finding that more and more. Maybe
I saw it on a movie.
Yeah, right. Maybe because it's becoming more and more visible. I don't know. Maybe it's something that's been going on all along, but I'm just seeing more and more of it where these young men are actually pursuing older women who are more financially
stable, right?
Philip. Because you looked at me funny when I said that. I just felt like you had something to say.
No, I had nothing to say.
You're saved by the bell. Phil is saved by the bell. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and listening to us today. We are here every Monday from 10 until 11, so you make sure you check us out every week. But until then, I am your host, Cassandra Renee, and I'm thanking you for tuning in today. And until next Monday at 10 a.m., bye-bye.
Hey, wait.
Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee, the radio show where we talk about it all. Beauty, sports, current events, health, travel, music, and so much more. You can reach us at info@talkwithcassandra.com or